Alright, let's dive into this because it's a story that's got the cycling world buzzing. And personally, I think it's about so much more than just two riders. Jonas Vingegaard, the guy who dominated the Tour de France in 2022 and 2023, is now asking himself, what more can I do? And honestly, that question is loaded. Here's why. Vingegaard isn't just losing to Tadej Pogacar. He's losing while performing at his absolute peak. That's the part that's mind-boggling. What does it mean when your best isn't enough? What does it say about the sport, about rivalry, about human limits? First, let's set the stage. Vingegaard and Pogacar have been locked in this epic battle for years. Vingegaard took the crown in 2022 and 2023. But since then, Pogacar has not just reclaimed the top spot, he's dominated. We're talking about a gap that's grown to over 4 minutes in the 2026 Tour, and that's before Vingegaard even crashed out. Now, here's where it gets fascinating. Vingegaard isn't declining. He's winning Paris-Nice, crushing the Giro d'Italia, and still, Pogacar rides away from him like it's a casual Sunday spin. What makes this really interesting is the conversation Vingegaard had with Matthias Gelmos. Vingegaard's words, "I produce the best I've ever done, and he just rides away from me. What am I supposed to do?" They're not just a vent. They're a window into the psychology of a champion. This isn't about training harder or smarter. It's about facing someone who's redefining what's possible. Pogacar isn't just beating Vingegaard. He's forcing him to question his entire approach to the sport. And let's talk about the pressure here. Vingegaard is the only rider who's consistently come close to Pogacar. That's not just a badge of honor. It's a burden. Everyone's eyes are on him, waiting for him to close the gap. Gelmos nails it when he says, everyone's expectations are on him, not just Denmark's. That's a weight that can either fuel you or crush you. Now, here's where I think people are missing the bigger picture. This isn't just about Vingegaard versus Pogacar. It's about the evolution of cycling itself. Pogacar's dominance is pushing the sport into uncharted territory. Riders like Vingegaard are being forced to adapt, to innovate, to find new ways to compete. And that's what makes this rivalry so compelling. It's not just about who wins. It's about what it takes to even stay in the game. One thing that immediately stands out is the commentary from Michael Rasmussen, who called Vingegaard's explanation for his struggles a poor excuse. Personally, I think that's a bit harsh. Yes, Vingegaard's preparation might have been geared toward the Giro, but let's not forget, he won the Giro. To dismiss that as a poor excuse feels like missing the point. The real question is, can anyone truly prepare for someone like Pogacar? If you take a step back and think about it, this rivalry is a microcosm of what happens when two athletes push each other to the absolute limit. Pogacar's dominance isn't just about him being better. It's about him being different. He's not just faster, he's redefining how the sport is raced. And Vingegaard, for all his brilliance, is being forced to chase a moving target. This raises a deeper question. What happens when your best isn't enough? Do you keep chasing? Or do you redefine what success means? For Vingegaard, that's the crossroads he's at. He's already beaten the performances that made him a two-time champion. And yet, it's still not enough. That's a place few athletes ever find themselves, and it's what makes this story so compelling. As we look ahead, Vingegaard's recovery from his fractured collarbone is just the first step. The real challenge will be how he approaches the next tour. Will he try to match Pogacar's style, or will he find a new way to compete? Personally, I think the latter is the only option. Pogacar isn't going to slow down, so Vingegaard needs to find a way to change the game entirely. In my opinion, this rivalry isn't just about who wins the next tour, it's about the legacy they're building. Pogacar is rewriting the record books, but Vingegaard is showing us something equally important. The resilience it takes to keep fighting when the odds are stacked against you. So, here's my closing thought. What this really suggests is that greatness isn't just about winning. It's about how you respond when winning feels impossible. Vingegaard's question, "What more can I do?" isn't just a cry of frustration. It's a challenge to himself and to all of us. What more can we do when we're faced with something that seems unbeatable? That's the question that'll keep me, and I'm sure many of you, watching this rivalry unfold. What do you think? Is Vingegaard's best enough? Or does he need to reinvent himself entirely? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. Cheers!